Okay, hello and welcome to episode 2 of the Nice One podcast. I'm here today with a special guest. It's actually my brother, John. Hello, how you doing?
Hello, everybody. Thanks for having me, Jer.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we've been talking about doing this sort of thing for a long time, so you'll be a nice change of pace from Brandon last week.
Yeah, pretty easy
We're
to
sticking
change that up.
to the theme of red-haired people, but slightly less in your case.
Yes.
So we have a few segments today. We're going to do somewhat similar to what we did with Brandon last week, but a few different ones too. So we'll do a few debates on who had the most impressive seasons in different sports, a couple guys who were one-hit wonders. We'll compare some athletes like we did last week. We have a quiz, and then, of course, we'll finish with our favorite top three. So you ready to rock?
Ready to go. Let's do it. I'm excited.
Okay, I should say that
go.
we're having a coffee and a whiskey here.
Yeah.
One of our favorite combos ever. I have your Ireland World Cup 1990 mug here.
And I got my Christmas gift from Jer, that I thought was from our sister.
Yeah, that's true.
Corrected me. And we got some nice Glenevan whiskey. So
Yes.
we got a shout out to Glenevan whiskey. So,
Yes, I got a Blue Jays glass, and you have a Leafs one, so I think I win right now.
Yes,
Yeah, those
that's
two.
true. All right, let's
Just
get
a
into
quick
it.
sip there, and we'll get started. So, okay, question I have for you right away.
Yeah.
What do you find more impressive? NHL player scoring 50 goals or an MLB player hitting 50 home runs in one season?
I think both of them are extremely rare, and I think probably more impressive would probably be 50 home runs. Just thinking about, you talk to athletes about, what's the hardest thing to do in pro sports, or what is a regular person least likely to accomplish is getting a hit in the MLB. Like Mookie Betts recently talked about that. So I think having power on top of being really good hand-eye coordination is probably the most impressive thing. So 50 home runs, especially with the velocity that pitchers throw with nowadays, a lot of pitchers pitching over 100 miles per hour and nasty curves, and guys like Paul Skeens with like 6 or 7 different pitches, to actually hit home runs off of that and hit 50 in 162 games is more impressive, I think. However, the reason I say that is because I think the ability to score an empty net goal makes that just a little bit easier. And there are no, when it's home runs, it's not like anybody's just throwing a strike right over the plate just so you can hit a home run. Whereas if you're on the ice and you get an empty netter, and I know a lot of guys, I think it was Brett Hull who scored in the 80 goal, like somewhere in the 80s.
80 goals?
With no empty netters.
Wow.
We'll have to fact check that. Obviously, I'm not positive, but I'm pretty sure it was like 85, 86 goals. And then Gretzky got 92 with maybe only a couple empty netters. So,
is 92 the most ever?
Yes.
Okay.
92 is the most ever. I think that was in either 92 season or maybe it was in the 80s.
And that was Gretzky.
Gretzky. 92,
okay.
Yeah.
I would have had no idea. I mean, I could have guessed he was the first, but I've had no clue who was second or third or fourth or how many. I think, who was it that got like 70 goals as a rookie or something? Solani?
Yeah. I think it was 76 as a rookie. So that's held up, obviously.
Yeah.
And but I think Gretzky has 92. That's the highest. And then I think Brett Hull might be second with 86 or something. Maybe even Gretzky has something other than that. But either way, I think because you can you can score empty netters in hockey, I think 50 home runs is more impressive.
Sure, and they're not to say they're flukes, but there might be some more like tipping goals, or the goalie, has a screen or something and you get it in.
Yeah.
It's double the amount of games in baseball, so you have more opportunities in terms of games, but you also have like 3 to 5 at bats during a game, whereas hockey you sort of have the whole game. So you famously play both sports very well. I don't play either, so you'd be better at this. And I think you've probably hit about 4 home runs in one game, and I don't think you ever scored 4 goals in one game.
Yeah, I definitely not scored 4 goals. I'm not even positive. I think maybe when I was 8 years old, maybe 9, I scored 3 goals, got a couple hat tricks, but not for a long, long time. So I think I've probably. And I've never hit a hard ball home run in a game.
Well, I think that's the right answer. You probably remember when we went to batting cages. I didn't even make contact on like 40 mile an hour.
That's very
true.
I
cannot imagine what 100 or 90 or anything would be like. And then to have the power to hit it out too and time it perfectly.
Yeah.
So that's probably the hardest thing.
I agree. Yeah. We're on agreement on that one.
And I looked these up, but I accidentally deleted the stats. I think it was like 45 people have scored 50 goals plus in hockey, and 31 have hit 50 or more home runs.
Okay, well so they're pretty comparable, and I think if you take out 1 or 2 players from each sport, those numbers would be a lot lower.
For sure.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously Gretzky.
And that's all different people too. It's not like someone doing it twice or something like that. It hasn't happened that many times. It's been that many people.
Understood.
Okay, so I think we're in agreement on that one. I have no clue how hard it is to hit a baseball, but it seems very difficult. And we're going to move on to one that's basketball versus football. So what do you think is more impressive here? averaging a triple-double in the NBA or throwing 50 touchdowns in the NFL?
Ooh, both very good choices as well. These are good. These are really good comparables. I know less people. It's probably about the same. I guess probably Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, and is there a third? Or
Sorry, is this like a coconut coffee or something
yeah,
you bought?
yeah.
Because I keep getting these little chunks, and I thought you just didn't.
Coconut.
Okay, I didn't clean the glass or something here. Anyway,
Also, that's probably true.
I think you asked if there's been more than 2 people. Yeah,
50.
Manning, Brady, and Mahomes.
And Manning was 55, right? That's the record.
He was the record. I think Brady broke it. He was like 51 or 52.
Okay.
And then Mahomes, I think it was his first year as a starter in 2018 through 50.
50. Okay. I thought Brady hit 50 right on as well, but you're
He
probably
might have. I don't know.
So
It's something
55 is Manning. Okay, so those are the 3 of the best.
Yeah, Manning's the most.
Probably the 3, maybe the 3 best quarterbacks ever. So
Well, that's not bad.
yeah, I would probably put those 3 as my top 3, at least definitely that I've watched. And I hate giving Brady any credit because I hate him, Patriot scum. So if we were, as Jets fans, we should note that we're both Jets fans.
Yeah,
It's
that's true.
awful. Brady is our nemesis. So, yeah, or triple-double. I really don't like Russell Westbrook, and I always felt like Russell Westbrook was like trying to get his stats. And I'm not as much of a basketball guy as you are. Like, I love it, but as far as the intricacies of the game, I don't know as much as I do about football. So, as far as averaging it, I think someone like Jokic, that averaged it for a full season, that's really impressive.
Especially as a center.
big
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Exactly. Being a center and leading the league in assists is just madness. Like, imagine 10 years ago hearing that. There's no one would believe you. But with Westbrook, it just always felt like he like positioned his game in order to do as much as possible to pad his stats, and that always drove me crazy. He's just an unlikable guy, actually. Maybe he's cool. I doubt it, though. Or just almost impossible, almost a 0% chance that he's cool in real life.
I've never been able to decide whether I like him or not. I think yes.
I think
I think he's just intense playing basketball, but by all accounts, he's a pretty cool guy off the court.
maybe. I hope so. I hope he does. I'd love to hear a story one day how he like helps kids out or something.
Yeah,
That
I think I've
can't
seen
see him.
something like that. But
Well, let's assume he does.
Okay, we'll
And
say yes.
So
in
to
which
answer the
case-
actual question, I think because of how hard the quarterback position is and how many guys struggle with it, and that the elite are like the ultra elite. And in NBA, you're on the court for 48 minutes. You can be on the court for 48 minutes a game. And in football, if the other team is leading in possession, time of possession, you don't have as much room to kind of control the game in football. And you need to know the responsibility of 10 guys on your offense. So I think a quarterback throwing 50 is more impressive.
Yeah, 3 guys have done both. Westbrook, as you mentioned, Jokic, and Oscar Robertson, who obviously neither of us watched.
No, but I've never heard a bad thing about Oscar Robertson.
No, he possibly works with kids too. We can't say.
Let's assume he's nice.
Jokic, I don't know about that. Horses,
weird,
yes.
must be
Kids,
horses.
probably
His
not.
Crazy brothers in Croatia.
Serbia.
Sorry
Yeah.
about
Oh,
Sorry, Serbians. Sorry, Serbians.
Okay, so anyway, yeah, you're right, because it does seem like guys kind of try, and you always see like a guy's 1 rebound short of a triple-double, and he'll chuck it at the...
Didn't he actually do that?
Probably.
Throw it up
Probably
and get
something
an
like
extra
that.
rebound? Like, it's just a low move. I don't like it. I just don't like Westbrook.
Fair enough.
Even if I thought that was more impressive, I would.
But
just
you
give it to
dislike
the
Brady more than you dislike Westbrook.
I do, but since time has gone on and Brady won a Super Bowl with somebody else and
Yeah.
has a feud with Belichick,
Good point.
now I'm okay with it because I hated both of them. So at least they both had some drama. And like,
Yeah,
he got the
it's just a
divorce
little
and
bit.
everything. His wife left him, so he's somehow more likable now, even though he's like a weird plastic face.
Yeah, he does.
guy.
He's got more likable, but more plasticky at
Exactly.
the same time.
Yeah, so I saw him like from afar, and when I was at the NHL outdoor game in Miami,
Oh, I don't think I knew that.
and everyone's like, "Oh, Brady's over there," and I'm like, "Nah, I'm good."
Yeah.
What do you mean? I'm like, I hate Brady. I actually, if he came up to talk to me, I would turn him down, pretend I didn't know who he was.
Fair enough.
So yeah.
So your final answer is the touchdowns.
final answer: 50 touchdowns.
Okay.
More impressive than a triple double.
It's not exciting when we agree, I know, but I agree because the quarterback's by far the most difficult position in any sports, and it's so the way games go are all different, right? You could have an amazing game, but you throw 1 touchdown. Your defense could be amazing. You don't have to do anything all game. So in order to be good enough that and get your team in a position to throw 50, and the other guys did it in 16. I think it maybe was 17 by the time Mahomes did it. But either way, there's a reason only 3 people ever have done it, and as you said, they might be the 3 best quarterbacks ever.
We are, yeah.
Yeah.
definitely that we've watched.
That'd be a fun segment. 3 worst quarterbacks we've ever seen. We could probably come up with that.
Well,
Nate
Zach
Peterman. Yeah.
Zach
Oh,
Wilson.
Zach. Well, that would be like bust style, but just the actual worst guys you've ever seen. Max Brosmer last year wasn't great.
I actually think Wilson's the worst I've ever seen. Peterman for sure.
Did Peterman
then,
throw 5 interceptions in one half? Was it?
What's the CFL guy that used to run the SST?
I was thinking the same thing.
Larry something.
He threw like 6
interceptions.
Yeah.
Six,
And that was in the CFL.
Exactly.
Yeah.
His career stats were 0 touchdowns, 6 interceptions on like 0 yards, and then
In one game or one half even.
Larry something. If anyone could help us out, Larry.
Yeah, I don't remember. That's a good throwback though. Okay, well we're in agreement on both of those. We're gonna move on to the next segment. So I've asked you basically. We're kind of the theme today is impressive feats in sports. So I've asked you to come up with 3 athletes. It can be any sport you want, individual sport, team sport, and just tell me the 3 most impressive individual seasons you've ever seen from an athlete.
Okay. Yeah, this one's difficult. I think it's when I try to think about whether or not I was going to include people from individual sports or team sports.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's easier to pick somebody from an individual sport because if they dominate the competition, then. But there was only one person for me that made it, and that's 2000 Tiger Woods.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I can't remember right now if it was the U.S. Open or the PGA Championship, but I think it was the U.S. Open. He won by some egregious number,
Like 16 or something, right?
15 strokes. And he also won the Open that year, British Open, and the PGA Championship. He didn't win the Masters that year, but he has won the Masters multiple times. So I think that is the most, because it was so dominant and everyone was blown away, and like all the old school guys hated him and we loved him.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously at that time I was a teenager, so I just remember like even like some of our other buddies like Brian and guys that love Tiger, that's the year everyone remembers.
Do you think the field was worse then than it is now?
I don't
Or
think so. I don't
he was
think you
just
really
that good?
compare it.
Yeah.
The field was, it's sort of like in hockey when people say like, yeah, but Gretzky scored tons of his goals along the ice. I'm like, everyone else could have fucking shot the puck on the ice. They just didn't, right? Like he's just better at it. Like you can't really compare generations in the sense of everyone, like the playing field is equal as far as like sports science and what everyone was doing at the time. Like, yes, they didn't give a shit about their bodies and like drank booze,
smoking cigarettes.
Yeah. We'll get back to that later. But I think when you go to Tiger, like, there just hadn't really been anybody like him that was just like kind of seemed like he was in his own world and arrogant, but really he was just dialed in at all times. Just didn't give a shit about everywhere else.
You have to be wired like that. You have to be insane
to dominate, and it's harder to have to try and dumb everything down to talk to the media and talk to fans and that kind of stuff. You're a pro athlete. I've never understood why people get upset that they don't want to talk to fans while they're golfing. They're golfing. They're professionals. What are they going to do? Stop and like learn the guy's name? Like, hey man, nice to meet you. Like after the round's one thing, but. So Tiger Woods 2000.
Okay, here I'll give you mine, and we can go back to back.
Yeah.
So my first one is team sports. 2005 Reggie Bush on USC.
Oh shit, yeah.
That's what got me into college football to begin with. Was that?
Yeah, good point.
I have a few stats here from him. So he had 2,600 total scrimmage yards that year, and that's before a playoff.
Is that 12 games? Or
12. Well, that would have been. It probably would have been 13 because I think you played 12 regular season. At the time, there was no playoff. So it was just right away they got put in the national championship against Texas.
Oh, Texas.
I don't think I saw that. I don't remember how it went. It's possible I just have PTSD. But he had 18 touchdowns. He had 223 yards per game as a running back. That's both rushing and receiving, and 8.7 yards per carry. So that's not touch. That doesn't include catches. That's just every time he ran the ball, he got almost 9 yards. It's almost a first down every time he touched it.
Wow.
There's been other impressive running backs we've seen in college, but I don't think anyone's quite been to the level of like skill and excitement, really, electric that we've seen since him.
Oh, he was Mr. Electric. He was awesome. Yeah, you're right. That's where we were like really dialed into college, playing NCAA.
Oh yeah, that helps.
Like, we would cook the books on the season, so we would make sure we could draft Reggie Bush.
Oh yeah.
CAR. Remember that one. But,
exactly.
So you good if I go?
Yeah, go for it.
So on the college football theme, I'm going to stick with it and go with 2019 Joe Burrow.
Okay.
On
nice
LSU. And obviously Joe Burrow's famously Mr. Ohio and was recruited by Ohio State, went to Ohio State, and then transferred to, was it transferred? I guess
he transferred, yeah.
Yeah. He wasn't going to be the starter on Ohio State. They've had a lot of quarterbacks that don't translate to the NFL famously. But Joe Burrow goes to LSU. has like the most dominant season maybe ever
No,
by
for sure, ever.
anyone ever in any
Yeah.
sport, maybe. And I mean, obviously that was Jamar Chase he was throwing to, that
And
season,
Justin Jefferson. Yeah.
who are two superstar receivers in the NFL now. So I think I have it as 60 touchdowns and 6,000 yards.
I think it might have been more than
Passing.
60, but if you
I
looked
might
up
be
the
wrong.
stats, I always thought it was 65, but you could be right.
Oh, it might be
60.
65. Okay, so it's either 6,500 yards and 60 touchdowns.
Something like that.
So either way, it's unbelievably dominant. We're talking about, like, again, that's 13 games max.
Yeah, that would have been the playoff. So, yeah, that would have been a 4-team playoff. So probably 14 games.
And in the SEC.
And
too.
a lot of those were,
Dominant
you wouldn't have been
conference.
playing the fourth quarter, right? Against Vanderbilt or Arkansas or teams like that.
Yeah, if you probably broke down the stats, if you had like a stats guy that was like an analytics guy and went, like, his first half stats must have been unbelievable, but probably the best ever. And so that he's my second choice. So 2019 Joe Burrow for the second most dominant.
I almost took that one too.
That
And
makes
as you
sense.
know, I
You
bought
like
the
that.
Joe Burrow LSU jersey,
Yes.
even though I'm not an LSU fan. He's one of my favorite players ever. Yeah. One thing I forgot to mention about golf, and this has nothing to do with anything, but our grandma was once hit by a ball hit by Arnold Palmer at the Canadian Open.
Right in the chest.
Yeah.
Dead in the chest. And her famous thing was she pretended she wasn't hurt when
Oh,
he
yeah.
came over to talk to her.
That's right, because he was our grandpa's favorite golfer.
That's right. And our grandpa, he didn't even look at our grandpa. He was rattled. He still was mad for years.
For sure.
Came over, paid attention to our grandma, and then I don't know if he gave her a glove or just like made sure she was okay. She said she pretended it didn't hurt, and then he walked away, but she said he was a gentleman. So yeah, there you go.
That's true. And as this goes on, maybe we could tell more stories about our grandmother, because there's a lot of funny ones
We've
there.
had a lot, yeah. Here's one. Our grandma never saw our grandfather run.
Yeah, he wouldn't have made these top athlete lists, that's for sure.
Married for 60 years. I never saw our dad run. Always threw us off that she called her husband dad as well. Yeah.
Okay, well, let's get back on track here. The next one, I'm going to stick with college, but basketball. 2000, oh shit, I probably should have double checked this. Either 06 or 07, Kevin Durant at Texas.
I think it was 06.
He was in the 07 draft, so I didn't look up his season stats or anything, but I've always remembered one game that stuck with me where he scored 37 points and had 25 rebounds.
That's right.
Yeah, and
That's probably the best stat line I've ever seen.
and that's as a small forward too, like Shaq at LSU or something. Maybe he got those sort of lines. I never saw that. It was just a little bit before my time. But for a forward to get 25 rebounds and 37 points and hit threes and mid-range shots and score at the basket, to this day, I basically stopped watching college basketball after that, because I don't know. I love when there's stars like that, and to me, no one's just stood out kind of since, I guess that's almost 20 years ago now.
Well, I guess there have been guys, just not like him, where we heard about him
Yeah,
going
sure.
to Texas, and it was kind of a weird school to go to because they weren't really.
Yeah, and he's from D.C. or something.
Yeah, so then him going to Texas was like, okay, he must be getting a side deal, which hopefully he did.
For sure he did.
Yeah, everyone,
Yeah.
Shaq made all his money in college.
Exactly.
So, but yeah, I think you're right. That was an unbelievably dominant season, and you're right. That's probably the last time I watched college ball as well.
There's been guys since. There's been Anthony Davis, but I'm guessing you don't want to rant on Davis like Brandon did last week.
Should we close?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, and
Brandon was bang on with Davis.
I think so too. I don't know. I just never connected with him like I do with some of these other guys.
Be a pro athlete and have a unibrow. That's just like automatic.
I agree
to know that.
All right. Well, who do you have next?
Okay, my next one, I'm going to go. I don't like doing this one because it's kind of annoying, but I have to just kind of give him the flowers.
Hold on. Tell me the sport and I'll see if I can guess.
Baseball.
Otani last year?
Otani 2 years.
Yeah.
Otani 2 years ago, because his pitching's impressive, and you could choose Otani anytime.
Yeah.
Because the fact that he can pitch and throw 100 miles per hour and hit 50 home runs, just like, it's unheard of. Everyone always says it's either him and Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth was like a fat cow. He is like an alcoholic woman abuser. So
yeah, exactly.
it's like he was just.
What did not Peterman, Steinbrenner on Seinfeld call him?
Oh, yeah.
Fat old man with little girl legs or something?
Yeah, exactly. Little girl's legs. So Otani is he's like a freak. And so he has a UCL, Tommy John surgery, so he can't pitch. And they're like, okay, but he's just going to wear a brace. And then he wears a brace, and instead of pitching, he steals 50 bases.
Yeah.
So he hits 50 home runs and steals 50 bases. Like, that's just unbelievable. Technically, that's probably the most impressive of my three guys compared to like what everyone else in the MLB is doing, because now everyone has a sports science. So all baseball players universally know that Otani is the best baseball player, the most shocking baseball player. Judge is the best, probably power hitter, obviously amazing.
He's
hitter.
not stealing bases, is he really?
And he's not. And Otani, yes, he's a DH, so he doesn't play defense, but he pitches.
Yeah,
and
but
that's
his ERA is probably not under.
Right, this year it's his lowest.
So Judges, I mean.
Oh, Judges,
No.
yeah, exactly. So Judge
Sorry,
is
wait. Otani's is the lowest this
in
year?
his career
Wow.
so far of his career. So it's like, I mean, he's pitching really well again. Now it's like a video game where you can just boost the stats and put everything to 99 like we used to do in NFL
Yeah.
or Madden. So he just feels like it's like a joke how good he is, and he's just a kind of like a weird, awkward guy, like an odd dude, and but loves baseball and has fun. So 2024 Ohtani 50-50 year with no pitching. That's my third most impressive.
I thought about that one too. I mean, I don't watch as much baseball day to day as you, but it's hard not to follow what Otani's done over the past few years, especially because we had to live it in the World Series last year.
Yes.
So
Awful.
But you're right. We spoke about him last week, and again this week. He's probably the most impressive athlete I've ever seen. However, he didn't make my list, but you know who did? Well, there was the UFC's Brock Lesnar, but before then, he was in WWE. And when he debuted in 2002, he had maybe the most impressive year ever. He won the King of the Ring tournament. He beat names such as Hulk Hogan, The Rock, and The Undertaker, and went on to be the youngest WWE champion ever.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That was all in 1 year.
Yeah, that he debuted right after WrestleMania 18, which was here in Toronto.
Yeah.
And then was basically a force for 2 years before he tried out for the Vikings.
Right. He went to the Vikings and famously failed.
Yeah, did nothing. People
Yeah.
said he could have made other teams, but he only wanted to play for Minnesota because that was sort of his hometown team.
Yeah. Which is kind of weird because where's he from?
He's from, I want to say South Dakota.
Okay.
South Dakota or North Dakota, I don't remember
He
what.
currently lives in
He
Saskatchewan.
lives in Saskatchewan
On a
on like a
farm.
hunting farm.
And his son is a hockey player, right?
I don't know. I only know his daughter. I've saw pictures of her,
I
who's
think
like
his son's a hockey player.
that would make sense.
We can fact check that. We'll have the researchers look at that.
Exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, I do remember him at being unbelievably dominant when he came in. He was just mean and spearing,
Exactly, yeah.
flipping guys around, probably hurting a whole bunch of. Was he?
Well,
famous
maybe
for
no,
that?
he
Was
wasn't
no?
actually. No, he's always had a good reputation, I
Oh,
think,
definitely.
for at least in-ring work. Maybe not so much behind the scenes.
Ahmad Johnson. Did
Not
you
like
remember
Ahmed
breaking
Johnson.
people's
Yeah,
backs?
he was one of the worst for sure, and some other people. But yeah, Lesnar, I think, has always had a good reputation as a wrestler. Just retired at WrestleMania. I don't know if you saw that.
I didn't see WrestleMania. I know you and Barbara were watching it, but
Yeah.
I did not see it. So he retired. Okay, good. That's probably good for him.
For sure.
But he's got to be hurting a little bit. How about that Saudi Arabia entrance at Royal Rumble? Showed up, probably made $1 million.
Lesnar?
Yeah,
Oh, at least
Lesnar.
$1 million. Yeah.
Went to Saudi Arabia and then goes in, takes like
20-second match, and
Exactly.
then just leaves.
and
Yeah.
then leaves and goes, probably jumped on a private
For
jet
sure.
and flew home.
They say, I don't know, not that we say they say, but he always wants his matches first at WrestleMania, so you can just come out, do it, then just leave.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I think I'd probably, if I got to his level, I'd say that too.
For sure.
What are they going to say? No.
Yeah, no, he's all business, but he does a
Yeah.
great job. Anyway, you did 3, right?
Yeah.
And I
so
did
Lesnar's
3.
your third. Yeah.
So you had Burrow, Ohtani, and Woods.
Yeah. And I'm going to say of all of ours, I really believe that the Tiger Woods season was the most dominant.
I think so too, because it's him versus every single other golfer in the world.
Yeah. And he's just beating everyone on the same field, playing field, and he's just better than everyone by a huge margin.
That's true, but he never beat The Undertaker to end the
That's a
WrestleMania
very
streak.
good point. You make
Yeah.
a good point. The Undertaker is hard to beat. Obviously, Paul Bearer.
What happens when you're not alive? And,
Yeah, good point.
Or a dead
Comes
more.
back
I've
to
never
life
quite
and
understood. Is he a mortician who died and is still alive, or came back to life?
We'll have to follow up with Barbara on that one,
Yeah.
Carol's sister, because he knows more about that stuff. But I've always loved Paul Bearer. And
Yeah,
I
true.
think he's
True.
fun.
He sort of got market corrected by Paul Heyman, though.
Yeah, good point. He was like a less weird, open eyes, like kind of
Way more
scary.
weird. Or
Heyman's
Heyman.
weirder?
No, Heyman is way less weird.
Yes.
Heyman had the balding ponytail, which you don't see that much anymore.
No, Heyman looked like a strip club manager.
That's true. That's true.
basically what he. Not that I would know, but just
No, we've heard things. Our uncle maybe has told us.
Exactly. Denny's told us a few things.
Cool. Well, yeah, it's hard to argue with any of your choices there. I think I agree. A Tiger. My Lesnar one was kind of more of a joke than anything. However, it was super impressive.
Yeah, it is.
And as you can probably tell, I enjoy wrestling, so I will be mixing it in every one now and then. But we're going to move on to our next segment. So another one where I've just asked you to pick 3 things. You can see here I love making lists of whatever, 3 to 5 things. So
Maybe we should tell people, sorry to cut you off, maybe
No,
we
it's
should
okay.
tell people for fun in our free time, we go to bars and just quiz each other on college football.
that's true.
And we'll say who's the best 10 running backs from 2000 to now, and then we'll just sit there having a Guinness and doing that. So this is sort of like what we normally do anyway. So it's actually quite easy for us to just get right into this.
Oh, for sure. But you got me thinking that could be a good next segment for next time.
True. Maybe shoot at Man of Kent. Shout out
For
Man
sure.
of Kent.
But for right now, I asked you to come up with 3 players who were sort of like one-hit wonders. Like they either had a great year, one great game that was super notable, a great series in the playoffs. If they're an individual, like maybe one great tournament in something, and then just sort of fell off or weren't relevant or disappeared entirely. So we can go one at a time like this too.
Okay, yeah. So this one's like a throwback that you and I will both remember. But basically, like when you started getting into hockey, right around the same time as Reggie Bush, actually. I think we started doing our fantasy hockey league that year, and the San Jose Sharks. We all loved Joe Thornton,
Mm-hmm.
and Joe Thornton, obviously Jumbo Joe. He's like an 80 assist guy, like amazing, nice, good Canadian boy. He had a line mate named Jonathan Chichu.
Oh, the Chichu train?
Chichu.
Oh, yeah.
I think he was indigenous or
I remember him. My buddy Eric loved him.
Yeah, Eric liked him. So so Chichu train scored 56 goals.
Did he really?
2005. And then this is the part where I'm not prepared with his other year stats.
That's right.
But I know he didn't even get 20 in any other year.
Yeah.
So he had 56, like a heat check, 1 year, just unbelievable scorer. Obviously, he had Joe Thornton passing.
Yeah.
Him. It's like playing on McDavid's line. You're gonna score eventually. But even Zach Hyman scores on McDavid's line. But Chichu was just unbelievable that year. A lot of power play goals, and so 56 goals in 1 year, and then fell off the map. Maybe, I'm not even positive he played 2 more years after that. He might have been kicking around. Maybe he played in Europe, but we can check that. But either way, that year was like a major outlier for him. So that was probably the most one-hit wonder guy I know.
That's a good one. I forgot about him. Not that I've watched a lot of Sharks games, but everyone knew him that year because he was so good, and we all knew and liked Thornton. We knew we were playing with him. Sorry, he was playing with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice one. That'd be worth looking up, like other seasons.
Yeah.
I didn't do that with any of mine, to be honest, so I don't blame you for not. We don't need details here. We just like to sort of, I don't know.
Go with the flow.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So my first one, I think you'll remember this name, Sean Oakman.
Oh, yeah, Sean Oakman.
He was a defensive end from Baylor. And he was like 6'8", had to be close to 300 pounds, but ripped because he used to play with his shirt like tucked up, so you could see his abs the whole game.
8-pack.
Exactly, and there was that famous meme where it would be him like telling the ref like, I don't know, let me go out with your wife tonight, and the ref was like, yes sir, no problem.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't even know where he got drafted. He had some off the field stuff. He was on the Argos in the CFL for a while.
Yeah.
And then
we watched him.
We went to the game, and I had those. No, we went to the game when I had those beers spilled on my head.
That's right.
Yeah,
that was really funny.
Yeah. Anyway, and disappeared from that too. So it's weird when that happens, where a guy's like massive college star goes to the NFL, does nothing, goes to the CFL, does nothing.
Yeah, he was on the team, but he was not.
He must have been juice in there.
Yeah.
There's weird stuff going on at Baylor back then.
Yeah,
Art Briles.
Baylor's
no beer allowed, no alcohol allowed on campus.
It's a weird religious school.
Yeah.
Most Texas schools are weird, but that's an extra weird one.
Yeah, they probably let maybe a few too many things slide there.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely did. Yeah.
All right, who's your number 2?
My number 2 on this one is, this one's a special one for us, and the reason it's special for us is because of what we talked about earlier, how much we hate the Patriots, and I think when I think of like one specific play that, and I know you'll be thinking of it right now, so that was so good for us because it led to the New York Giants winning the 2008 Super Bowl and beating Tom Brady. And it was David Tyree's helmet catch. Right across the middle. Unbelievable catch. Just glued it to his helmet with his hands. A ridiculous catch. It was obviously 1 in 1,000 chance of doing it, but he did it on the biggest stage. And he really didn't do much else with his career.
No, nothing. Like he was probably on the Giants for a while, but he was never higher than like a wide receiver 4 style production.
Exactly. So that was just like such an unbelievably impressive thing, and especially for us because we like Eli Manning.
Yeah.
And because he's beat the Patriots twice
in
the Super Bowl, so we like him forever. And he's funny and cool, seems like. So and now he's a hockey dad. His daughters play hockey, so we got like that.
Yeah, but he went to a Senators game, didn't he?
Yes. Yeah, but his daughters are fans, so you got to roll with
that's
it,
fine.
But
we can forgive that.
It's not like he likes Brady Kachuk. No one likes
Nobody likes
Brady Kachuk's dad likes him, or brother probably, or mom.
Yeah.
So David Tyree helmet catch 2008.
Great one.
To beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl.
Always a bonus when their best play comes against the Patriots too. For my number 2, I had Matt Serra, the former UFC fighter. He was sort of like a journeyman, and he won the reality competition. What was it called? Tough Enough or something? No, Tough Enough was WWE, the Ultimate Fighter.
Ultimate Fighter, yeah.
Ultimate Fighter. He won that, and then he beat one of our favorites, George St. Pierre, for the title with like a right hook. I mean, you could call it a fluke win. He still beat a guy at the highest level, so it's still impressive. in their rematch, St. Pierre just wiped the floor with him.
Yeah.
But still, he won the championship, so he can call himself a champion, and did nothing after that. I think
he's like a Long Island guy.
Yeah, like a jiu-jitsu guy, whatever, good in that era UFC, but would not stand up now or even then against the top guys.
That was the biggest fluke ever. That's probably the most disappointed I've ever been watching UFC.
Yeah.
It was just like, come on. Like that caught him with a lucky shot. GSP never got caught with lucky shots. That was the only one in his whole career, probably.
Probably, yeah.
And, he's like universally known as one of the best ever, especially
St. Pierre.
But St. Pierre, yeah. And we've seen him live in Montreal.
That's true.
And he was, for Matt Serra to beat him, just as this kind of weird New Yorker, like really strong accent, seemed like he'd be better as like a commentator. Maybe he has a podcast.
It's possible. I would bet that he does.
Yeah, me too. And it probably sucks. And he beat St. Pierre when we loved him. So yeah, good one. That's a really good one because that was a heat check for sure. He was annoying. That was annoying.
St. Pierre famously thinks he's been abducted by aliens. I don't know if you knew that.
I didn't.
Yeah.
He tells people that?
I think so.
I see he's been doing
He's a weird guy.
Definitely.
See, he got the hair and then everything changed with him.
Did he do the Turkish thing?
I don't know if he did that or he just grew, because I think he was just buzzing it.
Oh.
Because he was never, but he looks insane with like weird dyed blonde hair.
Dippity doo.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Like the same.
He's got like who's that, Tintin or one of those with like just the weird little puff of hair.
Yeah,
anyway.
I know. He's an odd dude for sure, but like
a good fighter. Yeah.
Still a machine nowadays. He can still do a standing backflip.
For sure.
50 years old.
And he was in The Winter Soldier.
Yeah, my favorite.
Exactly.
Movie, yeah.
So we like that. Okay, so who's your next one?
My next one is one of my favorites, and the reason I chose this one is because for those who don't know, I'm a major Ohio State football fan.
Yes.
And I didn't know my wife then, but Kendra, my wife, went to University of Michigan, and I would, in a lot of circles, I'd get in trouble for even using that.
Yeah, you better be careful.
So I'm sorry to everyone who hears this and knows that, but so Ohio State won the national championship in 2014, and an unlikely hero emerged as the quarterback of the team. And he has a very famous quote, and his name's Cardale Jones.
Oh, yeah.
And he wasn't known as a scholar, that's for sure. And Ohio State's not known as a school where you need to necessarily have a high GPA to get in, especially if you're a good athlete. But that year, he came in, and it was Ezekiel Elliott was the running back. And it was a very, very good team. And Cardale Jones came in as kind of like an unknown.
Yeah, he's their third quarterback, right?
He's the third quarterback, and he starts and he takes them on this wild run, and they end up winning. I think it was the first ever college football playoff.
It was the first one. They beat Oregon in the finals.
Exactly. So
I think it was this Mariota Oregon team.
It was Mariota. Yeah. So, and then Mariota, it was the same year with like Jameis Winston and Mariota.
Yeah, exactly.
Draft first overall. And Cardale Jones ends up getting drafted.
Well, he went back, didn't he?
Yes.
He should have just gone in when he was hot.
He thought he'd go back and start, and he's a weird guy. And so his famous line is, "We ain't come here to play school."
Exactly.
And we all love that quote. I know Jared's buddy Brandon, who was on last week, loves that.
He likes Cardale Jones.
Yeah,
he was drafted by the Bills?
I
think he played for the Chargers. He was on both those rosters at one point.
Yeah, he for sure was on the Bills. We were thrilled when he was on the Bills.
Yeah.
He obviously didn't do anything in the NFL, but that national championship run was for sure the most impressive. And again, I'm obviously, a couple of these are people I'm fans of, or teams I don't like, and this one I do like. And because all of our other teams that we like suck, Ohio State is generally the only team that I like that is really good, and like USC, but even you could appreciate that Cardale Jones run.
Oh, for sure, and especially because it wasn't just one game; it was three at least, like a little run. Yeah,
sure. But even at the end of the year, he was amazing.
Because who was the starter? The starter was,
I think it was JT Barrett.
No, JT Barrett was the second string. The starter was a guy who got the tattoos.
Oh, Terrell
Pryor.
Terrell Pryor, yeah.
He got suspended or hurt.
Right, and he got suspended and for getting tattoos in exchange for talking about the business. But this is before NIL, and you couldn't do anything then. And then Urban Meyer was a coach who's obviously famous for just letting everything
and whatever you want to do, go ahead. Yeah, this is basically it's Baylor, so the thing
exactly worse than Baylor maybe, but different style at that. But in this case, it was he just ends up somehow being the quarterback if Barrett got hurt, and then he was just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And they're a much different quarterback without getting into it too much. He was a pocket passer.
Yeah, he wasn't super mobile.
But he had a couple big runs, physical, running, and then so he was amazing. He's he would be my number one choice for heat check, one hit wonder. And it's more of the playoff and national championship run than one game.
Just one correction. Did we say Terrell Pryor?
Yes.
I think it was Braxton Miller.
That's right.
Terrell Pryor would have been good for this category too. He had like 1,100 yards as a receiver somehow with the Browns one year.
Yeah, very good point. He was an amazing athlete.
Yeah.
You're right. It was.
He was the quarterback at Ohio State.
And so Braxton Miller was like a running.
Yeah, Braxton Miller was awesome.
He was very good. It's probably one of my favorite. His highlight reel is unbelievable. If you want to look up something fun, Braxton Miller college highlights. But yeah, Cardale Jones comes in, wins a natty.
Yeah. Shades of Nick Foles.
Shades of Nick Foles, yeah. Very good comparison.
Okay, well, I have one more, and I'm going to see if you can get who this is.
Okay.
So he's a wide receiver who only played 13 games, I believe. 13, 14 games. Led the league in receiving.
Josh Gordon.
Yes. I love Josh Gordon.
Yeah, I know.
He was unbelievable in Cleveland that year.
Oh, yeah, Josh Gordon. And did he go to Baylor?
He went to Baylor, yeah. So
hopefully he wasn't part of those.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
But, yeah, he was a supplemental draft pick because I think, well, most likely drinking or smoking.
I think, yeah.
He had to leave college because that was his problem in the NFL too.
I think it was a drinking thing.
Which was a shame because he was an amazing player, but he just couldn't get his head on straight. There was the time where he wasn't allowed to drink during the season or whatever.
Yeah.
And the season ended and he flew to Vegas with some teammates, got tested when they landed, and he had like 2 rum and cokes on the way and got suspended either half the season or the whole next season because the league season hadn't officially ended or something.
You're right, and they tried, and like it felt like the league was trying to help him.
Yeah.
Hey, just get help. We'll get you back. It's not like it's domestic violence thing and you're an idiot. It's like obviously a substance abuse thing, and they wanted him to come back because by all accounts, he was like a good guy.
Yeah.
Just that he had obviously problem.
Well, I think his was pot more so than anything.
Okay, yeah.
Which, that this was what, like 2013, 2012.
Yeah,
things
true.
would probably be a little different now.
True.
It's not like a Justin Blackmon situation. He was alcohol.
Yes, you're right. That's probably who I was confusing.
It could be. Blackmon was unbelievable.
Yeah, he was great.
Never did as much in the NFL, but a better college. He won the Biletnikoff 2 years in a row.
Oklahoma State, right?
Yes.
Where he won?
Yeah.
So for all the listeners out there, we are major college football fans, and no one else cares about this stuff.
Yeah.
So yes, we talk about this stuff a lot too.
Yeah, Justin Blackmon, if you don't know him, he was like the 5th pick in the draft. I would say maybe like 2013 or 12 for the Jaguars.
Jags, yeah.
But the Biletnikoff is the best wide receiver in the country award for college football, and he won 2 years in a row, which I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen anyone do before.
No.
Anyway, we've each done 3, I think.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Just give us summary of who yours were again.
So I got Jonathan Chichu, 2005, 56 goals. Cardale Jones, national championship round, and David Tyree, helmet catch.
Sure, good choices. I had Sean Oakman, the defensive end, Matt Serra, the UFC fighter, and Josh Gordon, one of my all-time favorites, even though he was only good for 1 year.
If we ever get the ability, we'll show you the picture of Sean Oakman.
Oh, yeah. Maybe we
was,
can. We don't have any sort of anywhere to post photos, but we can. Yeah. Okay, we're going to move on to our next segment. So this one's pretty similar to what we did last week. I'm basically going to give John 2 athletes from different sports, and he's going to tell me who he thinks is better, had a better career. Personal bias is very much allowed. So let's get started with that. Now, this first one is very close to home. This is 2 Toronto sports legends, Vince Carter for the Raptors or Matt Sundin for the Maple Leafs.
This is a tough one. Obviously, like everyone, the majority of people listening who aren't like diehard Leaf fans would just be like, "Are you kidding?" Obviously, it's Vince Carter because Vince Carter's, probably one of the most polarizing for sure, but one of the most popular, famous athletes in Toronto sports history. I do love Vince Carter. I love that we're back on good terms after he left. I think
Took a while.
It took a while, and it makes sense because he did just want to leave, and our dad famously hates Vince Carter. And Tracy McGrady calls him Trader McGrady, and he hates Vince Carter. So we had to have a household where our dad was talking trash about Vince Carter a lot. So I love Vince Carter. I think the 2000 maybe dunk contest where
2000
where it's the most impressive. That probably could have been on my most impressive.
It could have been performance.
Vince Carter,
heat check,
honorable mention in the top peak performance. But him in the dunk contest, he just brought so much attention to the Raptors and to Canada in turn. And I remember Shaq filming on his little mini handy cam, and he had his biggest hands ever, and he's filming on that, and everyone just absolutely shocked with the stuff that Vince Carter was pulling off. So the answer is Vince Carter for me, but I also love Matt Sundin, and I think the difference is Matt Sundin's kind of like this quiet leader, and he's currently in conversation. I might date this, but to become somewhere in management for the Maple Leafs as they look for like a new direction. But everyone loves Matt Sundin in Toronto. He's just like one of those class act kind of guys. Like you can't really say much bad about him. He never got it done, obviously, but he's playing on the line with like Ponikarovsky and Antropov. So for
Antropov.
it was pretty awful line, but we met Antropov.
Was he for Kazakhstan?
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. We saw him there.
Pro that I know of, but we met him and his son. And his son was like 8 years old and taller than me, which isn't that hard, but it's he was 6'6", so his son was probably going to be big. But so point is, Mats Sundin had a pretty bad line.
Yeah.
And he never really had star, other than maybe McGillney or Gary Roberts, never had like those stars to play with. And so they never won, obviously. It's been a long time. But Sundin was just a beautiful captain, great guy. Everyone loves him. He's in the Hall of Fame. Unfortunately, Alfredson did his Hall of Fame ceremony. He could have been on. He could be on the list of my most hated athletes for sure.
Well, one day we'll do that.
Yeah, but so the answer is I'm going to go Vince Carter, and with a very close second to Mats Sundin.
Okay, Carter for sure from a cultural standpoint here in Toronto too, because he was the most popular player in the league. I think like 2, 3, or 4 years in a row he led All-Star voting as a player for the Raptors.
Yeah,
which God, you would never see that now.
No.
So
although Scotty Barnes is getting very popular,
yeah, Barnes is but here he's popular.
Yes.
In the USA, Carter was like an anomaly, and that's pre Yao Ming. Once Yao Ming came in, everything changed.
He took over. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's like, who was the guy from Georgia, and he was like second in All-Star voting, Zaza Pachulia, because everyone in Georgia was voting for him. Exactly. And they had to put in a clause that like, okay, hold on, we can't just do fan votes here.
He's probably the only Georgian until Mamu.
It could be. Now. Yeah, you don't hear a lot of Georgians really.
Georgians in the league.
No. Okay, well, I think I'd go with Carter with you too. I didn't watch as much Sundin as you, but we've forgiven Carter, so let's give him this award too.
Yeah.
Next one I have for you, this is a little more current. It's Patrick Mahomes of the Chiefs or Connor McDavid of the Oilers.
Yeah, so this one's tough timing. As again, I'll date myself here, but the Oilers have just been eliminated from the playoffs, so it's really sad to see McDavid not get the playoff success.
For sure.
And I think all Canadians want, even you don't have to like the Oilers. You don't even really, everyone knows that McDavid's the most skilled player ever in hockey. It's really, really hard to argue. He's just so much faster and so much more skilled than everybody else. So he's just on his own level. So, but the biggest argument to whether he's one of the all-time best is, does he have a Stanley Cup? And that's a really hard one for hockey guys. And I've heard Whitney talking about it from Spit and Chicklets. You can't really compare it to basketball players or other sports because there are 23 guys on a hockey team. It's not like, and you're having 45-second shifts, and non-hockey fans will say, oh, well, why doesn't he just stay on?
Yeah.
And it's because they're going full speed, full tilt, and there are not as many stoppages. The stoppages when you jump on the bench and get a line change.
Almost none, really.
Yeah, really. It's like the puck goes over the glass, or there's the goalie covers the puck, whatever. Penalty. But they're just like, you're flying the whole game, and it's full speed, and you're wearing equipment. You have a helmet on. You can't breathe as well as open.
You're not running. You're on skates.
Exactly. So there are so many variables, but so McDavid is definitely who I want to win this category because I think he's one of my favorite athletes ever to watch. I think he's one of the most skilled athletes ever in any sport. Really, I do. And I really hope he wins at least one cup. Like Crosby obviously won 3, but he's better skill-wise than Crosby ever was. And Crosby has 3 and will go down as one of the greats no matter what. And I hope McDavid gets there, especially it would be good for Edmonton. I hope he doesn't leave, but if I were him, I'd consider leaving.
Well, I would consider it too. I would not consider going to the Leafs, even though he's from here.
I hate to say that I wouldn't as well, but I really would. I hope he does, but I doubt it.
Yeah.
But I think Mahomes is just the most clutch. Mahomes is the most clutch athlete I've ever seen. It's no matter what. I think so. I mean, I'd listen to arguments on other guys.
David Ortiz?
No. Ortiz, I love Ortiz.
Yeah, maybe in 2003, but that was a while ago now.
He had clutch moments, but we're talking about like Mahomes winning multiple Super Bowls, and he's like, just like he's playing injured, limping, and then just throws these ridiculous passes. Just always knows what to do. Seems like he's just always understanding what everyone else is doing better than anyone else. So I think Mahomes wins this category over McDavid because of his championships, and I hate to say that because it bothers me to say, but I think McDavid is that's a very good comparison, but Mahomes takes it.
I'm going to take the opposite here. I'm going to take McDavid.
Okay.
I don't love using championships to talk about a player's legacy as an all-time great because these are team sports. This isn't tennis or golf or something. there's 50 guys playing regular minutes in the NFL. Even though quarterback's the most important, there's still so many key things. We saw in the Super Bowl last year, Sam Darnold's what? You would say the 16th best quarterback in the league? And they dominated because the team was so good.
Sure.
So does that mean he's better than, I don't know, Justin Herbert, Josh Allen?
Yeah, no, he's not.
So
No, you're right.
it gets iffy. And McDavid has Drysdale, so it's not like he's playing with no one. But he's never played with an A-plus goalie, has he?
No,
That's what's super important in hockey.
And so, I hear your point, and I think you're right. So you say McDavid.
Yeah, I'm going to go McDavid. I don't dislike Mahomes or anything.
Yeah.
I dislike his family. They seem very strange, but
you know,
we'll move on from that.
Time. Yeah.
We got a couple more. We can bang them out a little quicker. So this one's Adrian Peterson of the Vikings or Alex Rodriguez of the Yankees.
Yeah, two very unlikable off the field guys. A-Rod's sort of like making a comeback by being like relatively normal on TNT or whatever he's on for broadcasting. But he was like the most unlikable athlete for a long time. As far as skill, I think A-Rod, because he admitted to using steroids at the end of his career.
I don't mind that, but
no, everyone was.
Steroids.
You were actually a loser if you didn't back then. So it was sort of like, okay, thanks, A-Rod. Now at least he's admitting it. Unlike Rafael Palmeiro.
Oh yeah,
I did not.
Yeah, I think I misremembered.
Exactly. So I think A-Rod was probably the better overall player.
Mm-hmm.
I think Adrian Peterson was really dominant for a few years, especially in college at Oklahoma.
Oh yeah,
there's runs where he's like, I don't remember who it was against, but he was just like running.
I know the one you mean. Yeah.
We used to watch the highlight.
It looked like you playing against our nephews in the backyard right now.
Yeah, it's just dominating, running everybody over. So he was amazing at Oklahoma. He was really good on the Vikings. So Peterson was pretty dominant, but I think it's really hard to argue with how long A-Rod's career was, and how good he was. But him yelling on the infield fly, mine.
Oh yeah, I didn't yell mine. I yelled blah.
Exactly. Yeah. So that will go down as one of
that was against the Jays, right?
Exactly. Yeah, but sound bites. But I think A-Rod's probably the answer there for me.
Okay, we're going opposite again. I'm going Peterson.
Okay,
taking his college career into account. I mean, you got the switch incident, which isn't great, which was a full year suspension. But he also came back from a torn ACL and rushed for 2,000 yards and won MVP. Now, did A-Rod ever win MVP? I don't know, so I can't answer that. Yeah,
but so, I think so. He probably did.
Who knows? Anyway, they're both awesome players, obviously, but Peterson, in terms of pure dominance, I'm going to go with him. Our next one, these guys maybe aren't quite as super well known from casual fans, but I think it's a pretty fair comparison. So this one's Nikita Kucherov with the Tampa Bay Lightning or Julio Jones of the Atlanta Falcons.
So the first thing I'll say about this one is you couldn't have found two guys with more opposite physiques. And the reason I say that is because Julio Jones was known for being like a fitness freak. 3% body fat. He was like a wide receiver made in a lab.
Right.
Like
Sean Oakman, but
but athletic and fast. And he was like 6'3", 220, blazing speed, unbelievable. But his body was hilarious, like unbelievably fit. And Kucherov is famous for barely training. I might be wrong about that, but he's famous for taking his shirt off when they won the cup in Tampa and doing a press conference with no shirt. Just had like a hairy chest.
Oh yeah,
kind of dad bod-esque. Like, I guess just he looks out of shape. And a lot of hockey players, if you see them, they have like small upper bodies.
Right.
Football's
you don't need to be as
your legs are what matter the most, right? Unless you're like a fighter or one of the big enforcer kind of guys. And Kucherov is kind of like a regular guy. If you saw him in the street, you would be like, there's no way that guy's a pro athlete. But he's probably the most skilled. I know I said that about McDavid, but McDavid's skilled at high speeds. Kucherov just has a different style.
Well, you could say a winger if you want.
Yeah, he's the best winger for sure. But I mean, he's the best. He's so good and he's so unbelievably talented. So I think in this one, I'm actually going to give it to Kucherov because I know Julio Jones was unbelievable as a player, but I think Kucherov is more impressive to me than Julio Jones was.
Can you think of another example of where a team transitioned from one superstar seamlessly into the other, from the Lightning having Steven Stamkos and then going right into Kucherov?
Probably not. I think no. I think for hockey that rarely happens.
Yeah.
Because when they have the first superstar like Stamkos, they wouldn't have good enough draft picks to get another superstar. But Kucherov, I don't know where he was drafted, but it must not have been high. So no, I don't think so. Where somebody just took over, and that's why they've won cups, right? And so, but Stamkos, as he's tailing off, they're just like, all right, we're gonna let you go, and Kucherov's the new guy, so have a good one.
Yeah, fair enough. Off the top of my head, I can't. I mean, you can say the Packers, Favre to Rodgers, maybe, but even then,
he sat behind Favre.
Yeah, it's not like a more of a smooth transition. Yeah. It would be like 2 wide receivers or something like that. I don't know. We'll get back to this some other time.
Or maybe Roddy White to Julio Jones.
That's a good one. Yeah, that's really good actually. Roddy White was awesome.
Who are you taking for this one?
Oh, honestly, I have no clue. I like Kucherov in the video games.
Yeah.
I never watched Tampa that much. I know they won a few championships. I like Julio. I don't like him, I think, as much as others. Like, in terms of similar receivers, I'd probably have him below someone like Antonio Brown.
Do you have him below or above AJ Green from the same draft?
Oh, fuck.
See, I have him below AJ Green, but I feel like I'm alone on that one.
That's tough. It's hard when you see, because AJ Green left early when he was still good. He retired early. Julio hung on. He was on the Titans. Remember, he got traded for the Titans, and people were going, oh, only a second for Julio, and he did nothing. Right? These teams know what they're doing.
Yeah, when they fall off, they're trash.
If I could only draft one of them, probably taking emotions totally into it, I would probably take AJ Green too. Yeah,
for sure. And AJ Green's the only guy I've seen personally.
That's right.
I went to a college game in Georgia with our grandpa, who lives in Georgia, and we took him to a game. And we sat 50-yard line, and we watched Georgia beat Vanderbilt 43-0.
Oh, yeah.
AJ Green had like 180 yards and 2 touchdowns. He was just dominant.
Yes, he was good.
I love AJ Green, and he seemed like a really cool guy too.
Former Bengals receiver, for people that don't know. I think he started his career like 6 straight years with 1,000 yards or 7 straight, and then Mike Evans passed that eventually and has surpassed him in legacy, but still an awesome player for his time. Okay, we have one quick one here. So this one, I know your answer. I know what it's going to be, so I've prepared the guy that I think you're going to choose, and then a handful of others, and we'll just rapid fire.
Okay.
Get him off here. So Sidney Crosby.
Okay, this is going to be tough.
Yeah. Or Barry Bonds of the San Francisco Giants.
Not even close, Crosby. Bonds took the Springfield Isotopes stuff, and his head grew by double.
Darryl Strawberry.
Yeah. The Darryl Strawberry Isotopes concoction. But Bonds was amazing, and I love watching him hit it into the McCovey Cove.
That's what it's called. Yeah, we didn't know what it was called. Yeah,
McCovey Cove. And there's always the nerds in the kayaks trying to get the balls. But I don't know why I call them nerds, but they're
for sure nerds.
Yeah. I mean, your kayak waiting for a ball to come every hour.
Yeah,
maybe. So Barry Bonds was great. I don't care that he was juicing; everyone else was.
Yeah,
but he's not likable at all.
That's
his one quote. Next question, because he was stupid, is really good.
I agree. I love that one.
It's one of the best.
His eyes were bulging out of his head.
So we'll give him credit for that, but it's going to be really tough to beat Crosby. So Crosby.
I think okay, fair enough. I'm gonna not weigh in on these. Okay, Sidney Crosby or Manny Pacquiao, the boxer.
Crosby, because Pacquiao lost to Floyd Mayweather,
and I paid $100 for that. Stupid fight. It was terrible. And I think they're fighting again soon.
Yeah, who gives a shit?
Oh my god, I would never watch it now.
Who is watching that? I wonder. It's people who just.
What would you rather watch, that or the upcoming Ronda Rousey versus Gina Carano fight?
Anything other than that.
Okay,
and it's past, I think, isn't it?
I have no clue.
I think
it's either happening or happened.
Yeah. I would never watch Ronda Rousey and Gina Carano.
The only thing I liked Ronda Rousey in was Furious 7 or whatever one that was.
Yeah, she was pretty good in that.
No, she wasn't good. The movie was just.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah. Okay, Sidney Crosby or Novak Djokovic.
I hate Djokovic with a passion.
Yeah.
And Crosby's better.
I agree. Okay, Sidney Crosby or Babe Ruth.
Babe Ruth's first ever career home run was on Toronto Island.
That's true.
Playing for the Boston Red Sox before he was traded to the Yankees. Little known fact there. Shot a documentary about Toronto Island. That one. So with that said, it's a Crosby automatic. No, not close.
Okay, last one. Sidney Crosby or Genghis Khan?
Well, Genghis Khan's that's a very unique one. I probably should be laughing harder at that comparison, but I'm going Crosby for this one only because it's really hard to know if Genghis Khan was athletic, but he was athletic enough to have 10,000.
He rode the horse. If you can shoot a bow and arrow on a horse, you got to be at least like a CFL level athlete.
I believe that I'm not going to know the stat here, but I believe that he admits to having sex with at least 20 to 30,000.
I think you're either thinking of Wilt Chamberlain, which is possible. A lot of people call Wilt Chamberlain the Genghis Khan of the Lakers. Or I don't know.
Genghis Khan of the world.
No, but you're right. He had so many kids so many children that a single % of Asia are now descendants of him. Exactly. He also killed so many people that the CO2 levels in the atmosphere dropped, and Crosby's only killed like 3 or 4. So
that we know of.
Exactly.
Yeah. So Crosby's my answer for all of those. It'd be very, very, very hard. I think the only person I would put over Crosby as far as all time would be Gretzky, and I don't like Gretzky's personality, but I like that he was dominant and obviously brought good attention to hockey. But Gretzky might get it, and maybe Michael Jordan, and then for me, it's Crosby after that.
Okay, well, we have one bonus one here for you. Sylvester Stallone or Wesley Snipes?
Well, now that one's really hard. Most people will probably go Stallone with this one, but since we've been to the Wesley Snipes Walk of Star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame,
That's true.
and famously took a photo by that with our mom, I think that I'm going to go Wesley Snipes because him in Blade was a higher ceiling than anything Stallone's ever done, including all the
Rocky and Rambo.
Rockies. Well, I'm maybe taking out the Rockies because the Rockies and Rambos are pretty impressive, but I feel like Snipes doing Blade was the highest high.
I love the Blade movies. I'm a Blade Trinity sympathizer
No,
too.
you're not.
Oh, it's not.
awful.
Okay,
Ryan
hold
Reynolds.
on. We'll get into that another time. The
Okay.
casting for Dracula was terrible.
Yeah.
The guy from
Prison
Prison Break in a leather jacket and Triple H.
Break. Yeah, and Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, well, whatever about Ryan Reynolds. He's no Triple H. Well, Stallone never made Passenger 57. We'll say that. So
That's
I'm going to go Snipes on this one too.
All right, though we're probably the only two.
We might
Maybe our Uncle Dennis. Who definitely goes.
It's possible. Well, we're done with that segment. We're going to move on. We're on the home stretch here. We're going to do a quick little quiz for John. So basically what I have here is I'm going to list a number of sports leagues for you.
Yep.
And I want you to tell me what team has the most wins since the year 2000.
Okay.
Basically, I don't know anything that
Championship
happened
Or
before.
wins in general?
Wins, not championships, total wins.
Oh,
Just
shit.
winning games or winning, you'll see as we go
Okay,
along
let's
here.
do it. I poured you a little extra Glen.
Oh, thank you. So we're going to start with a team you like in NCAA football. Since 2000, who has won the most games?
Since 2000 has to be Alabama, and is it Alabama?
No.
Is it Ohio State?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, second time. They've won
so
285 games.
I'm so sorry too.
Because remember, Alabama had a bad streak before Saban got there.
Good point. And yeah, good point. I should have guessed.
And that was 08, 07. So,
What an idiot.
okay, NBA.
Yes. NBA. It's got to be. Can't be Oklahoma. Yeah, Oklahoma City Thunder.
No.
Not even close.
I don't know. I didn't look up who
Okay,
came after first.
Celtics.
Spurs.
Spurs.
For sure.
Since
Those
2000,
Duncan
David
teams.
Robinson,
Can't
Duncan.
just think recently. You got to think 26.
I know, but I was thinking Durant on OKC.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are a lot of people gonna be.
But they had
laughing
some
at me
bad
now.
years in
good
Seattle
point.
too.
Yeah, in between.
NFL.
I got to think back to 2000. NFL Chiefs.
Patriots.
I wouldn't guess them even if I
Hell
want to
no.
get that one wrong.
MLB.
Dodgers.
Yankees.
Over the Dodgers.
Dodgers are great recently, but they were second. I do know that.
Okay, so second.
But
so I wasn't too.
If I'd said NL, you would have been
Wow.
right. Yeah, for sure. Yankees
okay.
are
I know
they're
the
almost
Yankees
every
are
year.
good every year, obviously.
Um, NHL.
This one's hard. Okay, so 2000. I don't want to do Tampa, so I'm not doing Tampa. It's probably Tampa. Is it Tampa?
Do you want to go with Tampa?
Yes.
No.
Okay. Montreal.
Boston.
I couldn't guess.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't believe I even guessed Montreal.
Uh,
You know what? Can I make a small
sure, go
segue?
ahead.
This Montreal team, and I know they lost last night. They're not that unlikable. It's hard from
former Owen Sound attack player Nick Suzuki.
Nick Suzuki being the captain, and then Caulfield seems like a cool guy. He got snubbed from the U.S. team, which now I like him more.
Yeah.
Because obviously they won. But it's kind of like a weird, likable Habs team. I never thought I'd say that.
Yeah, that is weird. Is this like the Twilight Zone? What's happening
I
here?
know. And like Matthews and a bunch of our buddies are Habs
Our
fans.
dad,
and
yeah.
I make fun of them for years. Our dad's a fake Habs fan.
True.
And then our brother-in-law is a major Habs fan, although he's on the Oilers right now. We got to get
Yeah.
that. But the point is, I think I could never guess that B team because I hate that city.
Yeah.
But the current Habs team's not that unlikable.
Okay. Something we would never say about the Patriots.
Yeah,
For
or Sens.
Definitely not
Yeah.
the Sens. Okay. MLS. Major League Soccer.
LA Galaxy.
Great guess. No.
Seattle Sounders.
I think they're a little newer.
Okay.
But okay, one more.
New York Red Bulls.
Yes. Nice.
Is it
one.
Red Bulls?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And they're in the NYFC now, right? They're not.
No, that's a different team.
Oh, that's right.
That's a different team.
Red Bulls. Okay.
WNBA.
This one's gonna be a tough one. I don't know the teams of the WNBA.
This is like a famous team. They had
Indiana Fever.
no. I think they possibly might be new too. But again,
Are they new?
we're gonna need our fact checker.
Okay, so
check
who
that.
did Lisa Leslie play for?
Exactly.
Who is that?
L.A.
LA
L.A.
what?
Sparks.
Sparks.
Yeah. I would have accepted just the city there.
Yeah, okay. I should have just gone city, but I just know Lisa Leslie.
My theory,
our default answer to
everything. If there's ever a question about the WNBA, the answer is Lisa Leslie.
Yeah, or Cheryl Miller, Reggie Miller with a weight.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, CFL, Canadian football.
Okay. This one is a bit tough because we actually really used to like CFL. We'd watch it quite a bit. We were
not for a while, but yeah.
Yeah, so since 2000, I'm just going to go Argos.
I would have guessed Argos too. Calgary Stampeders.
Okay, that would have been my second guess.
Yeah, but that's just fine.
Dickinson,
no, he was
BC Lions.
Yeah, BC. Who was on the?
Yeah. Casey.
Casey Printers. He was from BC Lions too. Yeah.
Sorry, we're rambling, but Henry Burris.
That's it. Who I met drunk on the street of Guelph in like 2013.
You met him drunk. You were drunk. He wasn't.
No,
met
was,
him
anyway
at the Banff Springs Hotel.
That's right. Okay, so some Henry Burris connections there.
Yep.
English Premier League.
Since 2000, Manchester United.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay.
PGA Tour.
Wins?
Yes.
Since 2000.
Yes.
Tiger Woods.
Yes.
Can I guess second?
I don't know second, but I may just guess it, and then
I'd probably guess Rory.
I think it was Rory actually. Yeah.
And then Scheffler's probably third, to be
something
honest.
like I think Mickelson might have been up there.
I wouldn't guess him.
Ernie Els or something.
Patriots of golfers.
But I think it was Rory actually.
Okay.
F1.
Since 2000, Schumacher.
No.
Lewis Hamilton.
Yes.
I should have guessed him first. I just feel bad for Schumacher.
I know.
Still in
okay.
Vegetative stage.
I don't have any idea or want to say anything.
Yeah. Okay. So let's hope Schumacher's all right.
Yes. We'll hope Schumacher's okay. And in the meantime, who's won the most WrestleMania matches since 2000?
Since 2000.
Only at WrestleMania. And bonus if you can tell me the most matches overall since 2000, but they're different answers.
Okay. Most matches overall.
Just wins.
Tough one. I think I'm going to go with wins as John Cena.
Okay. And that's your overall wins?
And that's my overall wins.
In WrestleMania?
2000. And I think WrestleMania would be The Rock wasn't around long enough. And I'm going to go wild card and go, this is going to make everyone mad that likes wrestling, but Randy Orton.
Okay, that's not a bad guess at all because Orton's been around since 2002 and he's probably been at every WrestleMania. I bet you he's right up there. You were correct about Cena.
Nice.
The Undertaker. Come on, he's got the streak.
How did I not guess The Undertaker? He's rising from the dead.
Exactly. Possibly a mortician. We'll never know.
We're not positive.
Last one.
Yeah.
Who's won the most on-screen fights as an actor?
On-screen fights,
yes.
Jason Statham.
Yes, that's correct.
Is it actually
yes, it is Statham. Nice
Who
job.
also happens to be one of my favorite actors.
Yeah, so good job.
I've been on a Statham streak recently. I haven't told you that, but I've been rewatching old Statham movies.
Well, as we say, there's
not
no
much
such bad thing there's no such thing as a bad Statham movie.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you did pretty well there. I don't know. You got at least half, I'd say.
Yeah.
Wrestling ones.
A couple ones I got wrong on purpose.
You got Man U. You got Ohio. No, you didn't get Ohio State, actually.
That's
so either way, we'll say that's a success overall.
Thank you.
So we're going to start a new segment right now. It's basically we're going to try and fill up every sports league roster with a player, one position at a time.
Okay.
So eventually, every episode we'll pick a random position from one of the big four North American sports. Okay. And if we fill them up, we can start with soccer, even though I know like 6 total soccer players.
Yeah, we could use those 6. I could
for sure
contribute another.
Maybe
2 or 3.
It's like a rep league or rec league indoor or something. So we're going to start with the NHL, and we're going to go the position of right wing.
Oh, right winger to start. Okay, this is a surprise to me. So I think my instinct as right wingers, and I'm not positive that this guy's a right winger, so we'll have to fact check it. But sure. If he is, he's legendary for 3 reasons. And I won't be able to say the exact reason for the third one, but the thing he's most famous for is smoking on the bench between shifts and between commercials.
He's got to be an old time guy.
He's an old time guy. He's our dad's favorite player, second favorite player ever, next to Bobby Orr. And we met a woman in Australia who had a jersey of his that our friend JD is very familiar with. And that one right there is the famous Guy Lafleur. And Guy Lafleur is a Montreal Canadiens legend. And the jersey thing is a story for another time that anyone can ask us about, but in Australia. However, you could tell how good of a story it is by that Jared's looking off camera laughing. But so Guy Lafleur is our dad's second favorite player. We got our dad a Guy Lafleur jersey years ago, famously. Just went into his closet, hasn't seen it since. But he would smoke on the bench. He would smoke between periods. He would smoke all the time. And he's the last guy I know that smoked in the NHL.
Even though I hate smoking. There's something cool about like people smoking in funny places 100%. Like that.
Yeah, I've only ever smoked a few cigarettes in my life, but Guy Lafleur smokes on the bench is awesome.
That is good. That's a good answer.
Yeah.
I had a few options for you: Patrick Kane, Jerome McGinley, Brett Hull. Hull mostly because him drunk at the championship parade singing the Gloria song, which I love.
We love that.
I loved Ginla when he played. I still love
He's
Patrick
probably the
Kane.
best Canadian right wing.
For sure.
Yeah.
But this is a segment where the guest gets to choose, so we're going to go with Guy Lafleur.
Wait, I said best Canadian after calling Guy Lafleur. He's the most Canadian guy ever. He's French.
No,
Canadian.
good point.
That doesn't really count, though.
Yeah, it's in Montreal. It's half a point.
Yeah.
Okay, so Guy Lafleur is the first overall selection. Now,
Okay.
we're on to our last segment now, our favorite top threes. Now, we couldn't decide if we wanted to do the best athletes to golf with in a foursome or the worst athletes to golf with
That's right.
in a foursome. So we've just gone with both. So really this is top 6, but we'll do them a little separate. So let's start with the best people to golf with. And do you want to go first or second?
I would like to go first if you don't mind, and I'll
Sure.
just bang off all three.
Let's hear it.
I'll
Yeah.
give a quick reason why. My top 3, this won't surprise anybody who's been listening to this point, but my top person, I'm just going to go to number 1 right away, would be Sidney Crosby.
That's not how we do it. You can start at 3.
All right, well, in this case,
You can go backwards, but next time get it
this will
right.
be the only time I'm going 1 first because nobody's close. If I
Okay.
could golf with anybody, it'd be Crosby. I famously,
Finger.
I say famously, our friend JD and I were at Cabot Cliffs in Cape Breton 2 summers ago, and we ran into Sidney Crosby. He was playing ahead of us, and then we saw him at the pub with Nathan McKinnon, and they were playing with their dads. And as JD and I were standing out front about to leave, Crosby and McKinnon just walked out, and JD talked to them about playing on the same minor hockey team as them. And they came back and chatted with us, and it seemed like they wanted to stay longer than we did, which was pretty awesome because most people just want to leave, especially when they're talking to JD. And so he would be my number 1 pick because I saw him play and I feel like I could beat him. And it'd be great to say I beat Crosby because he's a lefty and I hit a couple big hooks. So sorry, Crosby.
Oh, sorry, JD taking a beating today, but
Yeah, sorry, JD. So second choice, and this one's a newer
so
one.
this is your number 2 or your number 3?
This is my number 2.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? To follow your system, I'll go to 3.
Thank you.
3 is Charles Barkley.
Nice one.
Now, it's a hard one because he hasn't been an athlete for a long time, but he seems just like the most likable guy of all time. You saw him.
I
at
saw him
a
golf
charity
at
tournament.
the Gretzky tournament.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that was in Collingwood.
Biggest hands I've ever seen. Shaken, I should point
shook
out.
hands with him.
Yes.
Oh, look
And
at
he
that.
said, good to meet you, brother.
Nice.
Yeah.
Love Barkley. So Barkley makes me laugh more than most people that are. I work in television. There aren't that many people who make me laugh more than Barkley.
That's true.
And my second pick is Ernie Clement.
Oh,
Currently earned
on the Jays.
on the Jays
Great
right now,
one.
second baseman. And the reason is he was on that sandbagger with the
Spitting chicklets.
Spitting Chicklets guys, and he just seems like he's the same guy all the time. He's grew up in Rochester playing hockey. He's like he just had his jersey night at
The Jays,
like
the
20,000
hockey
fans
jersey, yeah.
waiting. So he just seems like a really likable, normal, down to earth dude who likes golf, hockey, and baseball. And I feel like he'd be a great time on the golf course. So my number 1 Crosby, number 2 Ernie Clement, number 3 Charles Barkley.
Okay. That was the best to go with.
Correct.
Sure, yes.
That's the best who I want to golf with.
Okay, I'm going to do mine. I'm going to quickly shout out as a number 4 option if we had one. A friend of the show, JD. I've never golfed with him. Seems like he'd be a good
You
time.
know what? You'd enjoy it.
Yeah.
Because it'll make you feel better about yourself. Sorry. Okay. go.
So number 3, I had an actual golfer, John Daly.
Oh, yeah.
You'd probably go to Hooters with him. I might take up smoking just to smoke with him.
I think I
And maybe Guy Lafleur would be there too.
Yeah. He's dead.
Yeah, right. Well, anyway, in spirit, he'd be there. Yeah, he's just insane. Remember, he tried to hit a ball over Niagara Falls and made it like a quarter of the way. Like, didn't even maybe look up how far the falls were. Number 2, Wade Boggs. Mostly because I heard about him drinking anywhere from like 45 to 70 beers on a cross-country flight. And
Yeah.
I'd like to see, I think Brandon's close to that on the golf course, but
Yeah.
I'd like to see if
He's
Boggs
close to
can
that driver
beat
to
it.
work. I think Wade Boggs, and that's a famous episode from It's Always Sunny where they do the Wade Boggs challenge. So
That's
good
true.
one.
And number 1, in character, Stone Cold Steve Austin. He'd probably be a menace to the marshals, stuff like that. He'd like steal all the the big carts or whatever they drive, the
throw
grass
Coors
cutting
Lights
equipment.
and
Yeah,
bash them
he'd
together.
smash the beers up. He'd be causing havoc all over the place. He'd have security after him. I think that would be a good time. Maybe I'd be in the other cart with Guy Lafleur or whatever,
Yeah.
but I would enjoy watching it.
He'd be wearing jean shorts.
For
too.
sure, jean
He'd
shorts,
play
yeah.
A nice course. They're like, you can't wear jean shorts here, sir.
Yeah,
And then he'd stunner them.
exactly.
Yeah,
So
that's a
Stone
great
Cold's going to be
choice.
my number 1. So let's hear your top 3 worst athletes to golf with.
Okay, so this one, I'll give you a couple right off the bat. I'm gonna go number 3.
Yes, 3 is the order we
3
go in.
is Patrick Reed, and I know he is a golfer, but there's something about him. Our dad calls him Pig Boy, I believe his name is, and with good reason. He does appear to look like a pig, and he also seems to be the most unlikable person of all time. He like cheats, accuses other people of cheating, was like either kicked off a golf team or was hated by all his golf team
He almost
members.
got punched out in the locker room, right?
Yeah,
Or the Ryder Cup
exactly.
or something.
Like
The Cup.
everyone hates him. He went to the Live Tour. The Live Tour is collapsing. I hope that he doesn't come back. But I mean, he played in the Masters. He's still good, which is frustrating. But even he just looks stupid on the course. Just something about him. You know that you just wouldn't have fun. And the thing about golf is why we're doing this category is you're spending 4 or 5 hours with someone,
Yeah.
often in a cart.
Yeah.
So if I had to be with Patrick Reed, it would be insufferable. And so he would be my number 3. My number 2 is LeBron James. For almost all the same reasons, except for the pig thing. He just, it seems like the most disingenuous guy. It's everything is just fake and tailored for media and for like, he tailors everything in his life to try to shape how he's perceived. And that's just something I've never liked, like Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
He'd probably be 4th on this list. But LeBron James, totally unlikable, not a cool guy at all. Probably thinks he's better at golf than he is. I've seen his swing, it's awful, but he'd somehow beat you and it'd be so annoying and he'd mouth off. So LeBron James for sure, he'd be number 2. Then number 1, and this one has a little bit of a story attached to it, Bernhard Langer.
Oh.
And for those of you who don't know
German.
who that is, German senior PGA player as we speak, played on the PGA Tour for a long time. He's known as a horrible reputation for being a jerk and also has a horrible reputation for being a cheapskate. And our buddy Kyle Reeves has his parents have a membership at a course in Florida. We went down, Matthews, Yates, and I went down playing the course. And the guy that's a bartender named Chuck told us this story about how he can't stand Bernhard Langer. Sorry if this rats you out, Chuck, but he's every day when they host a tournament every year, a senior PGA tournament, Bernhard Langer would come to the bar, sit at the bar, order the most expensive steak and order a whole bunch of expensive bottles of wine, sit there by himself, wouldn't talk to anyone, would refuse, told them in advance, don't let anyone come talk to me. And every time would leave a $1 tip.
Oh, yeah.
It's like one of the greasiest grease bag moves ever. And so just hearing that from this like nicest bartender ever who we love, Chuck, shout out Chuck, about Bernhard Langer. I can't stand him. He'd be awful to golf with. He's dead last on who I'd want to play with. And shout out to Miguel Angel Jimenez because apparently he is a joy to be around and gave everyone huge tips and was in the same tournament was the exact opposite of Bernhard Langer.
He seems super cool.
Yeah.
I've always liked
He's
him.
yelling at
Angel
people and stuff.
Jimenez.
He mouths off.
Hey, he's got the long hair. You don't see that a lot in golfers.
He smokes on the course too.
For sure. If any like athlete was going to have to be in like a pirate movie, it would probably be him.
Good point. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll give you mine. Number 3, Chuck from the course. No. Number 3 for me is actually Antonio Brown, the former Steelers receiver.
CTE.
Just because he's an absolute lunatic. Yes. There's like a list that people keep updating and all the weird stuff he's done, and it just gets weirder and weirder. And I have a feeling like if we played Cabot Cliffs with you and JD, he might just drive us right over the edge.
Yeah,
because he's just totally lost it. Number 2 is actually 2 people, the Kachuk brothers.
Oh my God,
I hate them both. They'd be like playing with a couple of cavemen. They'd think their sticks were actual clubs or whatever, and go after the geese on the course. So I wouldn't want to play with them. I can't stand either of them. And number 1,
Neanderthals.
Exactly. Number 1, Neymar, the soccer player.
Oh, he'd be diving.
I don't like him, and he would like swing the wrong way, and he'd fall to the ground. And I know I'd be trying to get to my shot, and then he would be on the ground still holding his knee or something.
That's
so
a good one. Neymar, yeah. They're good choices.
Yeah.
The Chuck brothers definitely. I should have put them. They get honorable mention on mine.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, especially their dad too, Keith.
Yeah,
he's the all-time
Keith
prick. Yeah. Yeah, good choices. Good, but Neymar, he's diving all over the place. I'm not a Neymar guy.
Yeah, that just doesn't translate to
it. Just doesn't work in our hockey culture growing up, soccer players diving. So
that's true. Well, that's everything we have. So thanks a lot for coming on. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for the whiskey and the Ireland World Cup 1990 mug.
Yeah.
And the really weird, actually, coconut coffee. But other than that, everything went pretty well. So thanks a lot for coming on. I appreciate the effort you put into this. Thanks, everyone, for listening. I'm sure we'll come back soon, and if anyone listening has any ideas on something that could be good or funny for future episodes, then send me a message and we'll chuck it down. Or if you want to come on, tell me that too, and you'd be welcome to. So thanks again, John.
Thanks for having me.
For listening.
And we do love JD. Sorry, JD.
Oh, JD, we do actually. I like JD. I don't even make fun of you. He makes fun of you. Okay, we'll see you.
Okay.